Hello and welcome to another episode of Ashes to Go. I'm your host, Redbird, and with me is my good friend, BDLG. Bordy, how you doing tonight, brother?
Yo, dude, I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Yeah, man. Late night for us. I think it's 11 something p.m. Central Standard Time that we're recording this. So if you're alive or awake during this time, then I think we're considered to be vampires or some sort of night owl. But dude, we got a great episode for you guys today. Whenever you're listening to this, we're going to talk a lot about the Cleric. There was a recent post on ashesofcreation.com detailing the Cleric's spells and abilities and general feel or flavor. So I'm really excited about this, Bordy. I have played a lot of priests. I was priest, cleric, Templar, whatever you want to call it, in my days. So I was extremely excited that they picked the Cleric to detail or to lay all this detail out for us. So we're going to dive into that as well. We're going to talk briefly on their live event that they did with the Dungeons and Dragons and all of that cool stuff. They raised a ton of money for kids. We're just going to touch briefly on that. And yeah, we got a good show, man. So
the Harvest Dawn pack, dude.
The Harvest Dawn pack, dude. Which, dude, I can't wait to talk about that too because it's extremely awesome stuff that they're putting out, and I think the art team generally does like this amazing job. So first, let's hop there, dude. First, let's talk about the extra life thing. 2020 recap. Let's jump in here, Bordy. So obviously they did a 24-hour stream. The Ashes of Creation team, including Steven and Margaret and Mr. Bard and all of these wonderful people, went into and did a fundraising event for Extra Life, a great charity for kids, obviously, and it was pretty entertaining, man. They did a lot of dungeons. They did a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. They did and that was based in the world of Varus. So they did leak some lore. We're not going to talk about that tonight into detail, but we are going to talk about it later on in the YouTube channel. So don't forget to go over there and sub where all the VODs are for the podcast, as well as dude, we're putting out content there now as a team. Studioloot, dude. I'm really excited for it, and I know you are too. So, guys, check out that channel. Sub over there. A lot of Ashes of Creation content on the way for that channel. So, Bordy, did you tune into any of the charity event that occurred?
I did, man. I did. I found it pretty entertaining. I was laughing at some of the stuff that was going on there, and it was a lot of fun to watch them just kind of let loose for a little while, And this is something they do every year, and I watched it, I think, last year as well. Caught a little bit of it, so it's pretty fun to watch. And so some of the highlights, first and foremost, obviously they crushed it, man, with the amount of money that was raised by the Ashes of Creation community. So kudos to you guys for and whenever I say you guys, I mean the community at large. The Ashes community raised over 80. Well, I'll tell you the exact amount. It was $88,546 that was raised for the event, which was incredible. And there was a couple of milestones there. Steven said he would shave his beard if there was 30K raised, and obviously that got crushed. So he did shave his beard, which was
that bar
hilarious.
For sure.
Oh, dude, that was so funny, man. He looks baby-faced, and oh man, it was just fun. It's always funny whenever you see someone with a beard and then they shave it off after, that's the only way you really know them. He just looks like a completely different person. But then they had, did you hear them sing? Did you hear Steven sing?
Yes, I was pretty impressed, man. The guy's got some pipes on him, for
dude.
Sure.
Yeah, and I didn't. That was crazy. He was pretty talented. I didn't realize he could do that, and I was pretty blown away by the singing voice. It was pretty awesome. And then they had dinosaur lightsabers. They dressed up as dinosaurs and fought with lightsabers. That was pretty funny. And then they had like the Minecraft building event where they built some architecture out of the Ashes of Creation world. That was really cool to watch as well. So there was some fun things over there. I'll make sure I link that in the podcast notes, and obviously on the YouTube description, I'll link the kind of the recap of the Extra Life so you guys can go watch it. It's worth a watch. It was good stuff.
Yeah, dude, amazing, obviously, purpose and cause that they're raising money for. It's awesome that the community already, dude, this game isn't out yet. It probably won't be out for another year or two. And this community is so strong in coming together and raising money and supporting this cause. It's pretty encouraging to see, man, honestly, with the future of Ashes of Creation still being without the pun, created. They're still in the process of obviously making the game, and to have a community like this already, dude, it says a lot about the efforts of the Ashes of Creation team and the people in the community. So kudos to all of them for this effort. And yeah, it was very entertaining stream. And I'm sure we'll get another one next year. All right, man. So let's move on to the new backer package, and me and you kind of simp out for this every time there's a new one. I have yet to buy one because I keep waiting for like the perfect one, and it turns out that all of them are cool. So I
don't think you can go wrong, man. Every one of them is cool. I feel like we say this every time one's released. We're always like, oh man, this thing's so dope, but they are like, they all look really good, man.
Yeah, the design and the art team is incredible. Obviously this is no exception. It's very fall, as you probably guessed. Harvest Dawn is a fall based content package. They have items such as I'm gonna not say that because that's a word that I'm unfamiliar with. Diadem of Plenty. It's basically like your centerpiece on your Thanksgiving table made into a hat. Pretty cool looking thing there. Like this otter or ferret with like leaf tail called the Oak Stout. Also really cool. And dude, this got the prize for me, and then I would buy this package based off of this mount alone, and it is a Drake of Canopy. It is a leaf drake, dude.
It looks dope.
It's a crazy looking, and my intention is to play a ranger. And how cool would it be to ride up on a wood elf ranger on this leaf dragon, dude? That's the fantasy. It would be cool. The high fantasy of that character is enough to. Again, I think, make me pay hundreds of dollars. So the Mantle of Radiant Grove is the other item. And it's like, it seems to be the obviously, I think they do like a transmog each one of these. And this one's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, so it's like a cape of leaves, and all of these leaves are like fall colored leaves, orange and red, and just all fall colors. So it's like a cape of leaves and then golden armor that kind of matches, and it looks really cool. And then there's kind of, what's the thing that hangs down in a tabard? Is that what that thing's called? In the front?
Or a loincloth, I guess, whatever you're going for, yeah.
Yeah, whichever one. It kind of hangs down. I call them tabards. It's kind of the leaf look as well to kind of match the cape. It looks really cool, man. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I don't care for the oak stoat pet. It's like a ferret with a leaf tail and wings, man. Like yeah, dude. I'm not about that one, and I really don't like the hat either too much. The art style's dope, but not my thing. So for that reason, like, I'm kind of out on this package, but the rest of this is really dope. And there's still a couple more here.
Yeah, the Honey Hearth keg is basically a bear driving around a keg, a massive keg of probably some sort of ale.
I love that one.
It's pretty cool looking mount, man. That seems to be the, obviously, and they kind of vary on this, Bordy. They do a good job about changing, I believe this is a vessel, or one of the transportation type.
The caravan.
The caravan mods or appearance items, and then of course you get the Sunbeam's Remembrance, which is the freehold, or the freehold building thing, which is really cool, like elven looking building. These are wood elf transmogs. If we're being completely honest, I can't. Now I'm drawing a blank on the actual like Ashes of Creation name of the race, but these are all very cool themed things. Bordy, do they have autumn in Texas? Do you guys have the
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. We're in the thick of it right now, man. There's leaves everywhere. My yard is covered in brown leaves right now. Yes, it just doesn't get cold here. It won't really get cold. It's still like 70 degrees here, so it's weird that the leaves are falling off the trees, and it's not like you would think it would still look like spring, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I was wondering because I mean Missouri is like infamous or for like weather change and experiencing all the seasons and everything like that. But I wasn't sure about Texas. I didn't know if you guys had fall or maybe.
We definitely have fall, not so much a winter. Like our winters are very, very mild.
You're in northern Texas too, so I'm sure the farther south that you get in Texas, the less likely it is for you to experience any sort of season other than hot or like desert type stuff, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And the word I was looking for is the Pyre elves. So these are Pyre elf type transmog stuff. So sorry about that initially. All right, Bordy. So our main topic tonight is the Cleric. They put out a lot of information about the Cleric, about the moves and the flavor of the Cleric and everything like that. They even put out a video of all the animations for the spells that the Cleric's gonna have, dude. And the amount of detail that they've put into just these baseline, these are alpha level animations, Bordy. It's pretty mind blowing, man. What were your initial thoughts of the video and as a whole of the Cleric?
I mean, it looks pretty cool. I think some of the animations, in all honesty, for my taste, are a little bit too much. I think they're a little bit over the top, but other than that, like, they look really cool. I mean, the Cleric looks very Cleric-y. All of the abilities that the Cleric has are abilities that I would expect a Cleric to have. There's some pretty interesting ones in there as well that look fun to use. I am not typically a Cleric or a healer in games, though, so this is much more your realm than mine. But overall, it looks pretty fun. I highly doubt I'll play a Cleric in the game, but it looks cool, and I like the abilities.
First off, I'd just like to call you out. You're being a real boomer this episode with the whole, I don't like it. This is too much for me type of thing.
Listen, man, I'm just calling it how I see. You know what I mean? I am an old man.
You are an old man, and it's okay. We love you the same, of course. Dude, so we saw this in the PvP video, and I think a lot of people mentioned it as well. There are a lot of particle effects in this game.
I think that's what I mean. That's what I mean by over the top. It's just there's too many particles.
Yeah. There's a lot. These animations are very, and who knows how well, of course, this will work when there's 40 or 50 people in the zone. But I think they've mentioned that and obviously already have a plan. They plan on doing way more than people than that in an actual area. So I'm sure that they have tested these and they probably are, light enough to not make of a difference, but they are obviously very detailed. They look great. If you want to see the actual video, go over to ashesofcreation.com and they have an entire video of the Alpha 1 preview of the Cleric archetype. So, and we keep calling it classes, which is like I guess a general MMO term, but the Cleric archetype is one of course, the 8 primary archetypes. So Cleric, Bordy, obviously you would expect some healing, some resurrection spells, but we also get that flavor of like a paladin type of, judgment abilities and stuff like that. So let's bounce through these real quick. So the first one, Bordy, is castigation. So it's a whip your foe into shape.
Hey, I'm proud of you, man.
What's wrong?
I'm proud of you. You got it.
Yo, dude.
That's it.
I mean, that's like, I don't know. Okay.
I just knew that was going to come out wrong. I knew it was. I was waiting for it, and I was going to make fun of you, and now I can't.
You know what they say about assuming, Bordy?
Yeah.
Whip your foes into shape. Castigation lashes your target with holy energy, dealing direct damage. It also provides health regeneration and mana restoration for you and your surrounding allies. So, Bordy, these, quite a bit of detail or utility in this spell. And the animation, again, looks really cool. It's exactly what it says in the description. It's like a holy whip, Bordy.
Yeah. This is one that looks cool too. I do like the animation of this one. There is a little bit of particle effects that like fly off of the whip whenever you use it. That is a little bit much, man. But I do overall like this animation. But what do you think about this? Do you think in the game this skill is going to be like? It seems like this is really strong. It does damage, provides health regen and mana restoration for you and surrounding allies. Like that seems like a lot, but I guess it just depends on the amount of damage, the amount of health regen,
yeah, and that's the thing. Also, I think that the health regen and the mana regen are dependent upon some sort of AoE. What it appears like, obviously the video only shows like one casting of the spell, but I would think like you'd have to be within like a certain amount of space of the cleric, which always makes it hard or more difficult to like, get consistent utility of, especially like in PvP when all heck is breaking loose. But yeah, it's a very strong utility spell, and I love support spells. And in general, like I like the idea of a support role, and so this is a pretty cool utility castigation. So Judgment, will the divine hammer of justical. Or wait,
so
justice. Yeah. Yo. All right, so it's late, man. We right? Hey, man, I should have put a disclaimer when I said what time it was. My vision's slipping clearly. Yo. All right, boy, that's enough. Will the divinity hammer, the divine hammer of justice, judgment crushes your target with holy power, dealing direct damage and lowering their damage mitigation. So this is a debuff on your enemy as well as direct damage, Bordy. Another support spell in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about this one other than it looks cool. It's a freaking hammer, man. The divine hammer of Justical or whatever you called it.
Yeah, the Justical, man. We gotta.
I mean, I'm all about crushing my target with holy power, dude, and it just deals direct damage and lowers their damage mitigation. I mean, a nice little support style skill to lower the damage mitigation. I like it. So, never mind. Let's move on, man.
Well, like one thing I'd like to say, point out, because we're only 2 spells in, but you can start to see as you look at how diverse these cleric skills are, how they will each like be molded or manipulated with your second archetype into your subclass. So like, this divine hammer typically isn't something you would think of with like a priest or a cleric type class. But if you go and pick a fighter or a tank with the cleric main class dude, you can start to see how this is going to shape up to build that, particular marriage between those two archetypes.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was about to go into, and I just didn't want to get that deep. But yo, dude, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so it's gonna be cool, man. You can already tell that they've got this fleshed out for one class, and they're nearing up on Alpha 1. I'm sure that they have the rest, so I'm excited to see obviously more of these and see how these kind of mesh together. So the next one is Hallowed Ground. Sanctify a spot in the name of light. Hallowed ground fills the surrounding area with radiant light, damaging enemies and healing allies. So again, man, a utility spell that has damage. I like it.
Yeah, I've seen similar abilities in other MMOs, pretty similar to this, like from a paladin class where you lay down a surrounding AoE and it just, anybody that gets into that circle, it damages enemies. And then if your allies are in there, it heals them. I like those types of spells a lot. It helps you with kind of area control as well, like especially in PvP. You lay that down and then you kind of get a little bit of control of the area at that point.
Yeah.
It's a nice spell.
Yeah, for sure. Exorcism. The power of the cleric compels you. Exorcism unleashes a bout of holy power that rips out your target's spirit, channeling damage over time. A divine energy blast damages nearby enemies at the end of the channel. So this has really cool. This has really cool art behind it. There's a word for it. There's a specific word for this type of art, but thumbnail or whatever. Okay. Thumbnail skill art. Anyways, it's cool. Go look it up. Damnation. The light giveth and the light taketh away. Damnation curses your target, dealing holy damage over time and lowering their damage output. Increasing the power, this power also snares your target and extends its reach to enemies surrounding them. So, dude, again, it's gonna be really cool. Like how you can see these AOE spells and these like more support spells. But if you started to like dip into the mage tree, how these could kind of turn into these pretty powerful like damage abilities as well with these utilities and I mean you could really build out a CC oriented mage that can probably deal a significant amount of damage.
Yeah, it seems that way. It's definitely interesting the way these skills are playing out. One of the skills that I was surprised about, though, is the one before that we kind of glazed over, the exorcism skill. That just seems like an odd skill to throw into a cleric tree to me. That's more like a very dark oriented skill, and then it's sitting here in the cleric tree. So I found that one pretty interesting. To me, it just didn't fit, but that's just me.
Yeah. So, but as a cleric main, you are going to be able to spec yourself into things such as like the Oracle, Shadow Disciple,
which is true.
Shaman.
Yeah.
So you start to look at exorcism and how those might play out into those other things and
yeah, which is right. Which is one thing I have to keep in mind whenever I'm looking at skills like this is that all of the archetypes are vast, right? Like there's a lot of different options that's meant to be a part of the game, but it just doesn't look like it would fit, But whenever you start to think about it in that light, I think it does fit.
Yeah, and actually as a secondary subclass as a cleric or choosing a cleric as a summoner as your secondary class, you'll be a necromancer. So that definitely lines up with stuff like
there
that
you go.
as well.
Right.
So, devotion. Give the gift of life. Devotion is a swift act that heals your target, adding a heal over time and a small area of healing around them, and as his power grows. So this is obviously more in line with something along the cleric or a priest that we're typically seeing as healers inside of MMOs, and we do know that Ashes of Creation is going to stick towards the Trinity of MMO classes, and this lines up, Bordy, with your primary healer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just a healing spell.
It'll be interesting to see how how this skill is augmented. What could you add for a skill that kills your target and adds a AOE heal? It's interesting to think about those type of things, especially. Even even inside of the Ashes of Creation, having that many subclasses, even these basic skills have a lot of or will have a lot of variety and utility in them, which is extremely fun to think about.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're going to be able to augment those types of skills into, which is fun to think about because my brain, I guess I'm not creative enough to think that far down. Like what else are you going to add to that spell? Just maybe my brain instantly goes to, well, just maybe make that stronger.
Yeah, or maybe that AOE, like maybe if you pick a cleric with a mage, that AOE, healing area also maybe gives you a buff to elemental damage dealt or something like that. Or, I could see them going that, making that just like a different augmentation of that buff that AOE provides. But yeah, man, it's gonna be cool to see, man. I can't wait. The class system in Ashes of Creation is one of the main reasons that I initially got interested in this game. Just how in depth that was, and obviously, Arcade is like the only other MMO that I know that's came close to this sort of depth when it comes to class selection. So, Divine Censure, take aim and strike true. Divine Censure launches a radiant spear at your target, dealing damage. Any time that foe is attacked, the attacker has a chance to get healed. That's pretty dope, man. That's something along the lines of what you build your characters like traditionally in MMOs.
Yeah, which is funny you say that because I was just about to say this is by far my favorite skill out of the entire skill. You know me all too well, man. Yeah, and this is also a really cool. I really like the animation on this one. Like I love it. It's really, really cool. You just kind of conjure a spear and then you just launch it at your target. And it's just brutal looking. I love it, man. Yeah, it's my favorite.
It is a really cool spell. It reminds me of, I think ESO has something very similar to that, some sort of javelin that you throw.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool. I always like that Templar or the Templar ability. And this is going to be, again, the thinking about this augmented is really, really fun to kind of theory craft. So, benediction. Blessings are better when they're shared. Benediction creates a chain of healing among your allies, increasing the number it affects as you grow stronger. So, chain heal, basically, and again, this is more of your traditional healer or your main support class, and it's good to see, again, abilities like this. Do you have any idea, or do you think that this is like all the cleric abilities? And maybe this is what we're going to get for each class. About, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 abilities.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, that seems. I think that's fine,
yeah,
right?
I think it's right. Actually,
I think that's plenty for the beginning, and then once you start going into your subclasses, and then you start augmenting, and then all of that stuff, it starts opening up a lot more. I mean, to me, having 9 initially is fine.
Yeah, I think so too. And obviously, so then you think about this, and a lot of these abilities do heal as a sub effect, but you got 2 heals, devotion and benediction. So I mean, as a primary healer, it seems like, and I think they mentioned this too, without cleric being your primary subclass, I don't think you're going to be able to effectively heal, which will be interesting. But of course, there are 8 ways to play the cleric with this system, so there'll be enough diversity, I think, for sure. And the last one is, of course, resurrection, where others may have see a fallen friend, a cleric sees a divine opportunity. Resurrect, bring back an ally from the grasp of death. Dude, what type of augmentations are coming with resurrection, man? That's pretty crazy to think about, how a skill like this can be changed.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that whenever you resurrect someone, maybe they come back with a buff or something. I don't know.
How cool would it be, like, as a summoner, if you resurrect your ally for a short time, they're like in demon mode or something like that? Like, for, like, you know what I mean? Like 15 seconds after resurrection, your ally is a demon, or your ally is some sort of like crazy thing that can deal like extra damage for like 15 seconds after being resurrected.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I like that.
Or maybe they have some sort of like fairy that's like, as you resurrect them, they have this fairy that heals them over time as a summoner.
That's awful.
No, I bet it.
A fairy that heals you after you get rezzed.
Yeah, it's like it summons it with it, like it stays with them and
That's
protects them after they're rezzed. That's a summoned
That's the worst.
fairy.
That's the worst, dude.
You're being
no.
Like
that. How is that cool? That's not cool.
It is cool. A lot of people think fairies are cool, Bordy. Yeah, not everybody is a grunt axe yielding barbarian like you. Look, all right, we like flavor.
At least say some cool stuff.
I did. The first one was cool. Being resurrected as a demon, that's pretty sick.
I'll give you that, but being resurrected and having a fairy follow you around and heal you, like, bro, come on, man.
Yo, I think Margaret would disagree with you. I think she likes that kind of thing, and you're insulting her right now. I'm speaking for Margaret, even though I don't know her personally. I think she would be upset with you right now.
Listen, man.
Yeah,
that's. I'm very disappointed right now.
You need to apologize. All right, man. All right, dude. Well. Anything more to say about the cleric? It's pretty nuts, man. I love seeing this level of detail given out to the community, and I'm hoping to see more as we lead up to alpha. I want to see all the classes' abilities, dude. And I want to do a bunch of theory crafting. It's gonna be a ton of fun leading up to alpha.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have a lot else to add other than just that. Like, I'm excited to see all the other ones come out too. I thoroughly enjoyed reading through this article and watching the short video of all the animations. It was good. It was very enjoyable to see. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Yeah,
and if you want to see this video, go over to ashesofcreation.com. Also, I think we're going to break down the video of these skills on our YouTube channel, studioloot YouTube channel. So look for that later on this week. And probably listen to Bordy be a boomer and talk about how much particles there are and how it hurts his 2060 eyes or 2120 eyes or whatever your old man eyes, your
I mean, I'm not going to be talking about having Fairy follow me around after I get resurrected. I'll
probably bring it up again over there. If you guys like seeing Bordy being tilted about fairies, come watch that YouTube channel video, because I'm gonna do it on purpose now. All right, guys. Well, we have one last thing, and that is our guild of the week. Bordy.
I can't even read it right now, dude. Okay.
That's because you're too old. You can't see. All right.
You're okay.
All right, dude.
All right, man. So the guild of the week is the Ashen Ones. Well, it's not it's just called Ashen Ones. So you can go check this out on ashesfans.com. Obviously, I will post a link to their guild in the description and below, and in the podcast description below as well. So Ashen Ones, they have a very short and sweet and to the point description here. They are a English speaking guild. Their focus is PvX. Size is 26 to 50. They are currently recruiting, and it just simply says they're looking for like-minded members that are looking for a group to enjoy Ashes of Creation news and updates with until the game releases, and then until then, they're always playing other games to hold them over. So it sounds like they're just building a community over there, just kind of getting started and discussing Ashes of Creation along the way. Sounds like they're just trying to keep up with the news and updates and having a good time playing other games until Ashes releases. So they have a Discord you can join as well, and again, I'll post all of those links in the descriptions.
Yes, sir. And we're very thankful again for all of you who have went over to ashesfans.com and created a guild page to advertise over there. Thank you guys for doing that. And we'll continue to support your guild. If you want to go and over to Ashes Fans and create an account, you might have your guild featured on another episode. So thank you guys for that. All right, Bordy. Well, that ties up another episode of Ashes to Go. Why don't you tell people where they can find you on the internet?
Yeah, man. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BDLG. Twitter is at thebdlg. And now we are making a shift in YouTube content. So for right now, I'm pushing the pause button on the BDLG YouTube, and we are combining forces, Red and I, to go all in on the Studio Loot YouTube, where our VODs are posted currently, and we are going to be posting a ton of content on there, Ashes of Creation related and other MMOs. So go throw that YouTube channel a sub, please. And yeah, we're going to be posting a ton of stuff on there. So that's where you can find me now on YouTube. Is the Studio Loot YouTube, and we will obviously be posting links to that YouTube in all of the descriptions for the podcast everywhere.
Yes, and I am Redbird with Y. You can find me on Twitch on that name, and on Twitter I am Redbird. Same story as Bordy, and we'll continue to update you guys on this. We are working on the Studio Loot YouTube right now, putting all of our videos in one place. And we'd love for you guys to go over there and sub there as well. Thank you guys for your support. We really appreciate it every week or every bi-weekly now, I guess. The Ashes of Creation community is an amazing community to be a part of, and we're honored again to be a part of it. And we're thankful for you guys' support, and we will see you on another episode of Ashes to Go.